Here with Bitumio, another one of our how-to videos. Today we're going to talk about more in-depth job costing reports and how you can use our report exports found here under organizational settings, generate reports, how you can use these to build some pretty cool dashboards. And us here at Bitumio, we're happy to dig in and brainstorm some of this with you and help you figure some of this out. But suffice it to say, we can go to organization settings, generate reports, and we're going to look today at this job details report, okay? Select the date period for which we want to look at. I've already pulled some of this data, but let's say we want to look at July 1st through the 31st. So these are going to be any jobs that are closed, that are scheduled, to be scheduled, etc., between that time period. So if we hit save, this is going to download a report for us. And this report is going to be, well, there's not as much data in this demo account as there is in your account, I'm sure. But at the same time, there's still a lot of information in here. So looking at this, we've got the job ID, what proposal this job is associated to within the platform, when the job starts, when it finishes. So these are the scheduled dates based on the status. If this was to be scheduled, these would be empty. And then you've got all of this information with regards to, so here's what we proposed within the proposal, what we estimated this job would cost for material. And then if you've job costed this, what did it actually cost for material? Here's a good example where we estimated $7,100, 7,153, and we used 14,000. That's bad. And I'll show you what we're going to do with this. So anyway, there's lots of information here, all of your material, all of your equipment, your labor, your additional costs, direct costs, etc., overhead, all of that. Those aren't going to fluctuate very much. But anyway, you go through here and you can see there's a lot of information in here. We get down here and we get client name, the stage name, address, what kind of product you use. So what are we going to do with this? We can take this information and we can create some pivot charts within Excel. So we can select all of this. We can do insert. Let's do a pivot table. We're going to create this on a new sheet and hit OK. So now this becomes fairly easy that we can say, all right, show me product type, and I'm going to look at proposed overall total versus actual overall total. And I want product type to be in a row. So here's our 4 products, okay? Looks like I haven't job costed a whole lot in my demo account, so bear with me here. So we can have commercial paving. We're going to change all of these to $signs. So overall commercial paving, we estimate 230,000, but we only use 140,000 as actual. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good profit margin, assuming that we have job costed these, right? You'll want to add some additional filters in here to make sure that the status is complete. Let's say the job status is complete. You can say that the actuals are provided. So actual cost is not empty, is greater than 0, let's say. So you can build some filters in here that's going to give you some visualizations. Now, I've already done this in another tool. This is a free tool that Google provides. All you do is you upload this exact report. You can upload all of this data into, say, a Google Drive, okay? And then you can connect that to this reporting software. And then you can start to build some of this in a very easy point and click. And again, us at Bitumio, we're happy to walk you through some of this and get you up and running. For this specific report, we can simply just take your data, your export, and paste it into this report, and all of these numbers would update with your metrics. Suffice it to say, these are all obfuscated. This is all dummy data, right? So I'm not giving away any trade secrets here or costing secrets. But this job costing here, so for asphalt, we use roughly 16%, 15.5% of the material that we estimate in the proposal, we're only using about 15% of that total, okay? But for crack seal or crack fill, depending on what end of the country you're on, we're using 108% of the material quantity, of the material amount that we're putting into a proposal. So we are underestimating how much material we need when we go into a crack fill job, right? In this case, excavation, we're underestimating how much equipment we use when we actually go do the job. We almost need twice the amount of equipment that we're putting into our proposals. So we're losing money on the equipment side of the proposal when we bid excavation jobs. So you can start to see that this gives you a much more granular view of your jobs and how you're estimating them, right? Asphalt, our estimates are really high, but we're closing deals, so maybe that's not a big deal. If our estimates are really high and we're not closing deals, then we could probably start to twist the dials on these aspects of the estimate to bring our numbers down a little bit and be more competitive in the market so that we can win more deals, right? Grading, we really shouldn't change our material that we bring in. So grading is like bringing road base in preparation for doing an asphalt job, right? Material used, we're like spot on. I don't think you're going to get much closer than 103%. You bid 10 yards, you're going to use 10 yards, right? But our labor, we actually need to increase the amount that we're putting into our proposals for our labor. We need to change our production rates, in other words, within Bitumio, our application rate or production rate, right? Change it, maybe lower that so that your jobs, your proposals come out to use a little bit more time than what you're estimating right now. So you can start to twist these dials a little bit, okay? So here, price per unit. So concrete flat work, we're bidding $59 a square foot. I don't know what that is. I realize that's astronomically high. Again, this is all dummy data. So we're bidding $59, but it's coming out to be $65 after we job cost and our actual costs come in, okay? So we need to increase concrete. So we come over here. This is a little bit misleading because this is not showing any job costing for labor and equipment. Once you start doing this more and more, these numbers will jive a little bit. But for asphalt, we're bidding $6.45 and it's actually costing us $1.34. That jives pretty well, seeing that we use very minimal amounts of the labor, material, and equipment that we're putting into a proposal. So our actual costs are much lower than our estimated costs. So again, you can start to tweak these dials a little bit based on what these reports are telling you. And this is just more of a instead of a percentage base, this is actual monetary, okay? So here we propose for asphalt 31,000 in material, we used $1,400, right? So now you're starting to see the monetary values associated to these numbers up here, okay? So here, this one should be red. I'm not sure why this isn't, but here we're saying that grading for material, we use 103%. We bid $366 and we use $378. That sounds about right. Here we bid $264 in labor. We use $528. That's about double. That jives with this number, right? So these are just the monetary values associated to these percentages up here. Obviously, my red and green indicators are a little bit off on this report, but suffice it to say, this is some of the detail that we can provide for you. And yes, this will work its way into the platform in a soon-to-be future release, but you can start to use this information to turn the dials on your proposals to be a little bit more competitive or to just know where your job costs are for each individual. So you can do a lot of things with our reports. This is just one example of using the job details report that you export out of the system to create a really cool job costing details dashboard that helps inform you of how you should be putting your proposals together. Hope that's helpful. Really cool stuff here coming out. So reach out with any questions. Thanks, guys.